So finally, the truth is getting out there, despite the best efforts of USA to stop it getting out. And they've been filling people full of absolute rubbish over Ukraine for years. So Anna Savchenko and George Galloway finally got on air, and they finally got the truth out there. So all you clowns fighting for the freedom of Ukraine, you're not fighting for the freedom of Ukraine. This conflict has been going on since 2014. And Zelensky was put in there by Europe, and he was attacking his own people in Crimea. Proper attacking them, proper bombing them. Killed 14,000 people. Now, I didn't hear you shouting about that. Okay? So, the people of the Donbass region are ethnically Russian and wanted to remain under Russia. Zelensky's been bombing them for years. Years and years. And eventually Putin stood up and defended them. And that's what he's doing. He's not taking Ukraine territory. Those people don't want to be ruled by Ukraine. They've not allowed an election. They don't want Zelensky. He's been trying to ethnically cleanse the Donbass region. Yeah. And you lot are funding it. USAID, that Trump's now stopped, thank God, was funding all the media in Ukraine. Understand, we support Ukraine. You're supporting the T word. It's a piece of rubbish. The whole of this was intended to start a World War III with Russia, so that the EU could take the mineral rights in Russia and divide it up between the EU. Well, it's fell on its arse, hasn't it? Because now the world's starting to see the actual truth about Ukraine. Finally, where's it going to go from here? Because that funding needs to be cut off. This is not about Ukraine. Yeah. And Zelensky is an absolute piece of work, without a doubt. Come on. Hello, Bubba. So, that's just the first piece of the puzzle this morning, but I'm really glad. I mean, George Galloway's a bit of a fruitcake at the best of times. Sapphire! Stop eating it. Galloway's a bit of a fruitcake at the best of times. He's, yeah, he does some very strange things. But on this, he's right. 100% he's right. Let's see where it goes from here. So when you hear about Ukraine, understand that Zelensky has been slaughtering his own people in Ukraine since 2014. Because they wanted to pray in their Russian churches and hold their Russian ethnic background. And he was having none of it. You can't do that. You can't take a piece of your country that's always been Russian and force your ways on them. The fascist, and I mean proper fascist Nazis in Ukraine have been attacking them since 2014. Putin is not a threat. He's just defending Russian people. So stop believing all this rubbish that this propaganda media is chucking out there, because none of it's true. Look at the history before you start throwing your teddy out the pram. Same with Palestine. Palestine never existed. And doesn't it actually tell you something when the Arabs themselves want nothing to do with the Palestinians? There's all those people dying and they wouldn't let them in because they know Hamas is just not a good, it's not a good organisation. And they support Hamas. So leave them to it. What they did, what the Palestinians did on the 7th of October was 100% not acceptable. 100% not acceptable. You don't do that kind of crap and expect people to think, you know, to side with you. You don't. It's vile. Anyway, I've got things to do this morning, but I'm quite happy that the Ukraine stuff's finally out there.